A summer of softball continues.
You can smile, it's okay, we are too.
Playing for each other.
What a slide getting under the tag.
Playing for their hometown.
Catch made on the run. Defense on display. Wow.
Every game, a chance to advance.
Smoke softball up the middle.
Wins it on a walk-off in the ninth.
An experience they'll never forget.
To left field, and it's gone.
Swing and a miss to end this one.
Welcome to the Little League Softball Regionals.
There's nothing better. Summer forever.
And welcome to the Little League Softball Regionals on ESPN, presented by Dick's Sporting Goods. Just north of downtown Indianapolis, we welcome you to the side of the Central Region in Whitestown, Indiana, for a monster rematch of both the semifinal and the championship last year. State champs from Indiana and the state champs from Kentucky. One of 6 regions nationwide from coast to coast this weekend, spanning from the state of California down south into Texas, up north into Massachusetts and New Hampshire. This is how we started here in the Central Region with 10 teams, and we are now down to the final 4. Our bracket looks like this: Kentucky and Indiana advancing to the winner's bracket semifinal. The winner of this matchup will go to the championship game on Wednesday. Loser will have to come through the elimination bracket, which also features Minnesota and Missouri. That game coming up later on tonight. Hi again, everybody. Matt Schumacher, the former Lady Vol legend, Monica Abbott with you. And this is a matchup that both teams have had circled. They split 1-1 last year. Indiana got the better of Kentucky in the championship.
Yeah, Kentucky won this game last year and then ended up losing to Indiana. Indiana wins the Central Region, makes it all the way to the championship game in North Carolina at the World Series. So Kentucky has definitely circled this on their calendar for the rematch.
Kentucky beat Indiana in the semifinal. Indiana then had to come through the elimination bracket, which they did, ultimately beating Kentucky with a 5-run third inning in the championship game last year. Michaela Knight and Grace Fiore, both back from last year's teams. Though last year they were the number 2 pitchers. This year, Monica, they are the aces.
Yeah, absolutely. Both teams, number 2 pitchers turned into ace. Talk about development and growth, both coming into their own, but it's been spectacular on the side of Little Miss Grace Fiore.
Had a no-hitter going last night through 5 innings. They ultimately decided to rest her in the 6th, but it's been rare that people have squared her up in this tournament.
Yeah, she hasn't given up a lot of big hits, and when she does, she comes back with a K. 22 strikeouts on the tournament so far.
And then Michaela Knight, not to be outdone. She racked up a number of strikeouts on her own the other night and came through with the biggest hit of the night at the plate. First hit of the tournament, an RBI double, driving in Presley Roberts to beat Illinois and advance to the semifinals.
Yeah, Michaela Knight has the ability to do it in the circle and at the bat, but in the circle is where she will start. She's the first year as an ace for Kentucky. She's developed quite a bit, but her main pitches are fastball, curveball, screwball, changeup, but her go-to pitch is that drop ball. That is where she's going to get strikeouts and ground outs for Davies Little League.
Taking on an Indiana team that was exceptional offensively in district and state tournament play to get to the Central Region. Outscored their opponents 97-0. Runs have been a little tougher to come by in this tournament, but the Bats exploded yesterday with an 8-0 victory over Minnesota.
Now, there's been a lot of really good pitching in this tournament. We talked about Michaela Knight and Grace Fiore, but throughout the entire tournament, other teams such as Missouri, Illinois, everyone has had a really good pitcher on their team. We've seen quite a few pitching duels
Reese Carroll leading it off, batting .667 at the Central Region. 2-2. And a full count to the Indiana leadoff hitter. She is a menace on the base paths when she gets on. Leads Indiana with 3 stolen bases through the first 2 games of this tournament.
Yeah, she's been the spark for Indiana offensively, finding ways to get on base and then getting her way across the field all the way to third, stealing sometimes 1 and even 2 bases at times.
7th pitch of the at-bat coming from Michaela Knight. Flared over to the left side, could be trouble, and instead it is snared by Presley Roberts. With the back of the glove, over the shoulder catch for the starting shortstop, and 1 gone. Now this Indiana team features 5 returners from last year's team that made it all the way to the championship game of the Little League World Series in Greenville, North Carolina. Scarlett Wren batting second, one of those returners. In fact, all 3 at the top of their order played in the Little League World Series last year.
You know, that's such a good opportunity for these young athletes, a good experience for them to get better and then come back and try to do it again. So they're trying to defend that Central Region Championship and also pass down some of that experience to the other new athletes playing for Floyd Knobs Little League.
And the top 3 have delivered. You mentioned the experience piece. We had a chance to talk with young ladies from each team prior to today's game, and everyone who returned kind of had the same sentiment, which was that last year they were nervous. This year they're just ready.
Yeah, I think anytime it's the first time, you don't know what to expect. You get nervous, you feel the anxiety, a little bit of the pressure, and it takes you a little bit to settle in. This year, you could tell they feel a little bit more comfortable, a little bit more confident in their ability to win.
2-2 count to Scarlett Wren. Seventh pitch of the at-bat. This one finds grass, and a 1-out single for Scarlett Wren.
1-out single to Scarlett Wren, this time falling in, but in almost the exact same spot as the fly ball off of Reese Carroll's bat.
You played in 3 Women's College World Series. I have to think the 3rd time you had a totally different mentality than the first time, no?
Oh, absolutely. That first time, it was exciting. It was new. It was fresh. The second time, you go in kind of understanding what's going to be expected, what's going to come to you. And the 3rd time, you go in and you're on a mission. So each time you go, you get a little bit more confident. You start to understand what's coming.
Come on, be ready now. Come on.
Old hat.
Yeah, old hat. I feel like in mindset's everything. And difference between nervous, confidence, and determination.
Time called by Kai Despain. This is her 2nd trip to the regional. And behind her, Grace Fiore, who's in her 3rd trip to the Central Region. Batting cleanup and starting in the circle for Indiana. Some long at-bats here out of the team from Floyd's Knobs, making Michaela Knight work.
Yeah, this is a good sign for the Indiana offense. Putting a lot of pitches on Michaela Knight's arm, but also starting to make her work a little bit, showing some plate discipline.
Oh, it's dropped. They're going to get the out at second base. That's just a tough situation there for Scarlett Wren. It's almost like an infield fly. Of course, it ended up making it to the outfield grass. not much you could do there if you're Scarlett Wren.
Yeah, absolutely. Nothing to hang your hat on there. Scarlett Wren did an excellent job. She turns around, sees the ball like it's going to be caught, goes back, and of course it's dropped. So a little bit unlucky for Indiana and not letting Scarlett Wren advance. But that's the game sometimes, right? There's little things that happen, little errors, little miscues that can impact a hit or a run.
Quickly 0-2 to Grace Fiore, who's playing in her 14th game at the Central Region. How about that for experience?
That's a lot of experience in Grace Fiore. She has slowly become a star each year. Last year we saw her play mostly shortstop and come in relief at times.
Drop third strike. Grace is just thinking about getting on that rubber. She knows a lot of these young ladies on the Kentucky side, including Michaela Knight. Now she gets to face them with a trip to the championship game on the line. These two teams met first last year in the winners bracket semifinal. Ella Nonweiler drove in 2 runs on an RBI single in the 4th to give Kentucky a 2-0 lead. They were the only 2 runs of the game. Michaela Knight later came in the latter innings to get the final 6 outs with help from a great play by Marley Duncan, ending the game in left field, leaving Indiana with just 2 hits. They met again 2 days later in the regional final. Bad inning for Kentucky resulted in a 5-run third for Indiana. Grace Fiore, of course, added an RBI single off Michaela Knight in the 5th, and that was plenty for ace Briley Mercer as Floyd Knobs went on to win the Central Region and made a deep run all the way to the championship game of the Women's College World Series, rather the Little League World Series. We were just talking about the Women's College World Series last half inning. Now, these two teams, a lot of familiarity with one another. Many of them, Grace Fiore told us, have played with Grace on the same team at one point or another, and now they will face her today with a trip to the championship on the line.
Yeah, absolutely. Many of them have played together in travel ball. Being that Indiana, Floyd Knobs, and Davies County are just over the border between Indiana and Kentucky. And you can check out here the returning players in the Central Region. Grace Fiore will start against Finley Baven.
Defense, come on.
A 1 off the bat of Bevan. Fair ball, fielded well by Fiore.
Second baseman, 35.
So Grace Fiore, she has been having a phenomenal tournament. This is her first year as the ace, and she says she's having so much fun with the team on her shoulders. She throws about 60+ miles per hour, our hardest thrower in this tournament. And she throws a curve, a rise, a drop, and her change. But that go-to pitch for her is her rise ball, and where she is racking up a ton of Ks. There you can see the rise ball just moved in just a little bit and got Avery O'Brien on the shoulder. We can take a look here. Rise ball just tails a little bit on her for the hit by pitch.
Avery, one of 2 Kentucky base runners to steal a bag in this tournament so far. And now one of Grace Fiore's good friends, Presley Roberts, digs in. Talked with both coaching staffs today, and they told us if these 2 girls weren't wearing their jerseys while hanging out in the hotel, you'd think they were on the same team. That's how close they are. Meanwhile, O'Brien goes first to third on an overthrow by Reese Carroll. And just like that, the go-ahead run at third base.
So take a look here. Avery O'Brien going for the steal, but there is nobody at second base. Kaida Spain playing second base. Late for the coverage with the lefty up. Scarlett Wren from shortstop vacated to third base on the foot movement of Presley Roberts.
That gets past Carroll. Play at the plate, not in time. O'Brien is just too slick on the base paths, and a 1-0 lead for Kentucky without a hit so far in the inning.
So Speed doing what Speed does best, working her way around the bases, first to third on the steal, but why not just take a steal at home plate too?
Reese Carroll out to the rubber to chat with Grace Fiore. They've been such a great battery throughout district, state, and even the first couple of rounds here. That is the first run allowed by Indiana in regulation in this tournament. Hard to believe. All the runs that were scored by Missouri against Indiana Friday night came in extras, in which they began each inning with a runner at second base. Pop fly off the bat of Roberts, and it's caught it short for the second out.
First baseman Paisley Edge.
Base is clear for Paisley Edge. 3 for 5 in the tournament with a double.
Defense, come on. Walk it up.
Handcuffed, one hopper, underhand toss from Kaida Spain. That'll do it for the first. A 1-0 lead for Kentucky after 1. The Little League Softball Regionals on ESPN are presented by Dick's Sporting Goods. Every season starts at Dick's.
Leading off the top of
J.R. Drummond is back coaching in the Central Region. Had his team one game away from winning it all last year in the World Series. And despite the fact that all of his girls have now aged out of this division, he was lured back to coaching this team at least one more year, with so many returners back from the team that made such a deep run last year. Good effort at first base. Paisley Edge laying out for the first out of the second inning.
Well, Paisley Edge, this ball just off the end of the bat, tailing away from her. It keeps going, but Paisley Edge doesn't give up on it. The diving grab. Smiles all around for Davies County. 1 out.
Indiana really made Michaela Knight work in the first inning. 22 pitches thrown, but no damage. Allowed just the lone single, and a runner reached on an error. Strong throw there by Roberts. So good in the field. Quickly 2 gone. J.W. O'Brien managing this team out of Davis County Little League in Kentucky. Owensboro, the 2 Little League programs located 90 minutes from each other. J.W. was part of this team's staff last year as an assistant, back this year as the manager. And both teams not only returned coaching staffs, but a good chunk of their key players from the year prior. 1-0 to Kara Edwards. Line drive shot into left field. Long running effort from Haley Warren won't get there, and Edwards thinking 3. She will put the brakes on at second base.
Well, Kara Edwards, it must have felt good to lay into that drop ball. She got full barrel on that pitch, just driving it deep into the left to center gap.
And now the ball gets away from Avery Emick. Edwards in before the tag. So Olivia Kolish has a chance to drive in the first run of the game for Indiana and tie it with 2 outs in the second. Has a couple of hits so far through the first 2 games, but seeking her first run batted in. Kolish, diving stop. Roberts makes the play. And the snatch by Edge. Presley Roberts saves a run. What would have been the game-tying run. Well, just a couple of years ago, Owensboro, Kentucky didn't have a Little League softball organization. Davis County was created by J.W. O'Brien and Jonathan Roberts, two of the coaches on this staff this year. And what do you know? They've made 2 consecutive trips to the Central Region, and last year were a game away from making it to the World Series.
Yeah, I love that. You know, 2 softball dads trying to find and give these girls an opportunity, give their girls an opportunity, and all the other athletes in their county. You know, Coach Roberts said that there's a lot of really good softball players in their county and area, and he wanted to make it happen, and he's got to be pretty proud because, of course, the 12U group is here, but 10U and 11U both also won district and state for Davies County in Little League this year. So within just 2 years, they've created a really strong program and pipeline in Little League.
3-0 count. To the leadoff hitter, Avery Emick, who draws a walk. A little bit of difficulty here for Grace Fiore. Spotting her pitch is something we have not yet seen from her in this tournament.
Yeah, that was a really nice pitch by Grace Fiore right there. But she seems just a little bit timing just quite isn't right.
Here's Hunter Sparks. Drops down the bunt. Tough play in from third, and it draws Taylor Pryfogel off the bag, I believe. Olivia Kolish's throw maybe a little too high. Yeah, right.
Yeah, so there it is, right there. The ball throws high, great jump and effort. But Sparks is able to beat it out.
Might have a challenge here from J.R. Drummond. And they are, in fact, challenging the safe call at first. I don't see anything, at least on that initial replay, that would give the indication this is going to be overturned. It looked pretty clear that Taylor Pryfogel's foot came off the bag. Here's another look at it.
Yeah, and the throw was obviously pretty high here. Now, normally,
I'll tell you what, that's a heck of an effort by Taylor Pryfogel.
yeah, that's what I think. Pryfogel did a great job over there at first base. Yeah, you can see some air under her cleats as the ball gets to the back of the glove there. I like the use of the challenge, but it begs the question of, knowing that this could be a very tight game, do you want to save the challenge till later in the innings?
I think for certain, if this doesn't get overturned and J.R. Drummond loses a challenge, now he becomes very choosy about when that potential final challenge gets used. You get 2 unsuccessful challenges in the 6 innings of regulation, and then an additional 1 in extras.
Yeah, I definitely would agree with that. You would definitely have to be picky if you lose this challenge on when and where to use the next one, with still so much softball left to be played. And both of these teams knowing each other and almost creating this little rivalry between Kentucky and Indiana in Little League softball now, that's going to be carried on for years.
And J.R. Drummond is 1 for 1 in challenges so far in the tournament. I'm not sure this one's going to go his way, though. And if it stands, Emick stands at second base, Sparks at first, 2 on and nobody out, as Michaela Knight comes to the plate. And remember, Knight had the game-winning hit for Kentucky in their last game, and the call will stand.
Yeah, Michaela Knight is a hitter that we saw have a really good tournament in 2025. A little bit of a slow start here in 2026, but the game-winning hit will it spur the rest of her offense and her bat to come alive.
Annie Vall was getting loose during that review period. She's now back in the dugout. We have not seen her emerge since. Knight tries a bunt, foul. Boy, wouldn't that be something to see a change in the circle this early?
Yeah, that would definitely be an interesting, but also a strategy play as well. This isn't the championship game.
Good sack there from Knight. Both runners advance into scoring position. And you always still have the opportunity to bring Grace Fiore back in if you were to take her out at some point here.
24, left fielder.
Indiana last year, of course, lost to Kentucky in the winners bracket semifinal, then beat Missouri in the elimination game, and got the best of Kentucky in the championship. Fly ball into right field, sends Poling back, makes the catch, in from third, Emick, throw cut off. It's a 2-0 start for Kentucky.
Good piece of hitting by Brindley Bishop. Takes this rise ball a little bit late on it, able to take it to right field, gets it deep enough out to Farrah Poling. This is just great team offense here. You can see it fly back there with the tag up. And the nice slide at home.
So far, Kentucky's winning this game because of their base running.
Yeah, and I would say their speed. They've dropped a lot of bunts. They're throwing the sacrifice, which when you think about Davids County and I think about Kentucky, I think about how good of hitters they are. But in the last 2 games, we've really seen them go to that sacrifice bunt a lot more.
1-0 count to Jenna Ball. Still, Indiana's not allowed an earned run in regulation in this tournament. Had an error last inning, had an error this inning. Kentucky taking advantage. 2-0 pitch. Fiore glances into the dugout. Little bit frustrated by the zone here.
Yeah, this is a really nice pitch by Grace Fiore. The second one I've seen on this corner, but it is not a strike. Umpire does not like that low and inside corner today.
3-0. Ball taken all the way, strike 1.
Grace Fiore is going to have to find another way to get these Davies County Little Leaguers out. She likes to throw arm side. So with that screwball, that low pitch, and then obviously the rise ball that we just saw, she's going to have to work the outside corner a little bit more.
Hitters count to ball, runner at third. 2-0 lead already for Kentucky as Fiore shakes off the first sign from Carroll. Still, we've not seen a strikeout from Fiore. How about that? 22 strikeouts coming into the game.
Surprising. She does say that these hitters do know her. She plays club ball with quite a few of them, or has played club ball with them. As much as strikeouts are fun, you also have to find ways to get hitters out.
Bouncing ball to third, gathered by Kolish, makes the play. That ends the bottom of the second inning, a 2-0 lead for Kentucky. They've plated 1 in each of the first 2. We go to the third in Whitestown. Floyd's Knobs Little League back here again, where they won it all last year and in 2017. Brought back 5 players, dominated districts and state. Told us that their 4-3 win in 9 innings against Missouri on Friday night was one of the most fun games they've played all year. And really, it was the first time all year they've been tested as a team.
Yeah, it was a really good game, extra innings. Chase Bethune, the pitcher for Missouri, had Indiana's number the majority of the game.
Fly ball into right, and it drops. Ball and Bevan were just inserted into the game in center and in right respectively, and a little miscommunication there on the first ball they see.
So Thompson gets a good piece of this ball. It's nice and high, allowing ball to cover, but just a lack of communication and awareness of your partner outfielder out there allows the ball to drop.
Game tying run at the plate now, top 3. Bunt is dropped down by Pryfogle and successfully moves Thompson over to third. Well, you can check out Little League on all social media channels: Facebook, X, Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok. At Little League, and don't forget to use the hashtag LLWS.
Here we go.
Here's Annie Vall. Already has 1 run driven in, now another. And Indiana's on the board in the third to cut the deficit to
1.
So just a little team offense here. Annie Vall hits the ball on the ground to the shortstop, a slow rolling softball. Presley Roberts really no choice but to go to first base.
Here's the 12-hitter Farrell Poling. Had the game-winning knock in the bottom of the 9th a couple of nights ago for Indiana in their extra innings win against Missouri. Cue ball off the end of the bat, barehanded by Knight, and that will do it for Indiana's bid in the third. They cut the lead to 1. Kentucky will pick up the bats when we come back. Welcome back to the Little League Softball Regionals on ESPN, presented by Dick's Sporting Goods. Grace Fiore back in the circle here to start the third. And Monica, it hasn't quite looked the way it has over the first two games for Grace.
The first two games, Grace Fiore has just come out on fire. 13 strikeouts in the first game, 9 in her second game. Today, not a strikeout yet. Now, I want to take your eyes to that pitches thrown. 133 in that first game, 68 yesterday, 225 total right now. I'm wondering, does Grace Fiore feel a little bit of fatigue right now, or is she just starting to find her groove as she gets more into this game? Sometimes as pitchers throw more and more pitches, it takes them a little bit longer to get going.
Good play at second base. Kai Despain has made a couple of those this tournament. That'll fire up her starting pitcher, one down.
Yeah, it's got to feel good for Grace Fiore when her defense is making plays just like that behind her, knowing that they're going to step up. Kai Despain, lay out for it.
Nothing to it. Come on.
In steps Evelyn Chelstrom. Seeking her first hit of the Central Region. Rolls it over to Despain, who's been a magnet for the ball in this half inning. 2 gone.
Now this is nice with the amount of pitches that Grace Fiore has thrown throughout the tournament so far. Yes, she's had rest on some days, but giving just a 1 pitch, 1 out, feeding the defense, allowing them to just make the plays behind her is super important, especially as they go into tomorrow and the championship day on Wednesday.
Bevan right back to Fiore. That is a 5-pitch inning for the Indiana ace. Two-1 lead for Kentucky here. Look at our bracket. Kentucky and Indiana in the winner's bracket semifinal. Winner will advance to Wednesday's championship. Loser will play in the elimination bracket. Missouri and Minnesota are up next. Winner advances, loser goes home. Still some softball to play here. Fly ball out into left off the bat of Carroll, 1 down.
So Michaela Knight liking what Grace Fiore was doing. She said, I'm going to do it too. 1 pitch, 1 out for Curly Knight.
And some more changes in the Kentucky outfield. Jenna Ball, who was in center last half inning, has shifted over to left. Finley Bevan, who was in right, is now in center. and Brindley Bishop in right field. Sharply hit to the shortstop. Presley Roberts, who is a vacuum on defense. 2 gone. Kai Despain has been one of the premier weapons at the plate for Indiana. Always has the same routine. Draws a cross in the dirt and a K for her mom, whose name begins with K. Now calls time. First pitch swinging. Oh, and it drops. Bevan just lost it. And maybe some miscommunication with Avery O'Brien, who is drifting back from second base. And the inning continues.
So a little bit of outfield woes for Kentucky, having a little bit of miscommunication issues. Over on the right side, a high fly ball from Kai Despain. Just a little bit of indecision. And I think more than anything, it's commitment. You got to be committed.
And no miscommunication here. O'Brien calling for that all the way. Well, the last half inning for Kentucky could not have gone quicker. Presley Roberts a big reason for it. She's been terrific today defensively.
Yeah, Presley Roberts just doing it all over there, all sides, all ways. Just an absolute wall over at shortstop. She'll be up second in this inning, but we'll kick it off with Avery O'Brien.
Fly ball into center, drifting in is Smith and makes the catch. I see your plays at shortstop and I one up you in center, says Smith. And now comes Presley Roberts to the plate. These two are such good friends. They shared a travel ball roster together. And Grace Fiore told us she's one of the friends that she's become closest with through softball. One of the cool things about this sport, not just these couple of weeks of the Little League tournament, but everything leading up to it. The friendships and the bonds that are made. Sent deep to center. Smith is there. Second out of the inning.
First baseman, 27, Paisley Edge.
Here comes Paisley Edge. Grace Fiore was throwing a lot of pitches through the first couple of innings. Last inning used just 5 pitches. This inning has used 3 to get 2 outs.
Yeah, there's been quite a few first pitch swings by both teams. Just very aggressive.
Getting outs in different ways than we've seen her do it as well.
Yeah, and that shows a lot of maturity and a lot of like experience. This is a great learning moment. Yes, strikeouts are fun, and it's fun to rack up 10 or 11 strikeouts, but you got to find ways to get out sometimes when the zone's not in your favor, or when you're not having your best day, or feeling a little tired, or whatever reason. How can you feed your defense ground ball outs, fly ball outs? Grace Fiore is finding a way to do that.
1-2. Paisley Edge not biting. And now a full count to the Kentucky first baseman. Winner of this game advances to the championship on Wednesday. Loser will be slotted into the elimination bracket and play the winner of Minnesota, Missouri later on tonight. Seventh pitch of the at-bat coming, the longest at-bat since the second inning for Kentucky.
And this is a good job by Paisley Edge, whether she's intentionally doing it or not. When the first 2 hitters swing first pitch and make easy outs, then making Fiore go deeper in the count.
How about making all 3 outs in the inning? Riley Smith ties the record. We go to the 5th in a 1-run game. Little League Softball Regionals continue with the debut of Little League Around the Bases, presented by Dick's Sporting Goods. Coverage of every region can be seen throughout the day, streaming live on ESPN Plus all the way until 9 p.m. Eastern Time. 4th inning was a good one for Indiana, and a good one for Kentucky. The entire inning lasted about 5 minutes, it felt like. Both pitchers making quick work of their counterparts.
Yeah, last 8 of Indiana batters have seen 2 pitches or less off of Michaela Curley Knight. You can see just 4 pitches in the 4th inning. 8 in the 3rd. So Michaela Knight just settling in nicely, in Indiana having a very aggressive mindset at the plate, swinging early and often.
1-0 count to Riley Smith. Pop up down the right field line into the triangle, and it drops in fair territory. Smith takes advantage up to second, thinking about 3, dives back in under the tag. Boy, that was close, as Presley Roberts was right there lurking. A seeing eye double for Riley Smith.
Just a high fly ball on the line, and just a lack of communication there. That's where right fielder Brinley Bishop needs to take control and figure out who's going to take it. If she wants that ball, she's got to call it, because she does have priority over the infield. A couple fly balls have dropped now for Kentucky, and I'm pretty sure that's what Coach J.W. O'Brien is talking to them about. This is actually their 3rd outfield miscue, all there on the right side. Trying to let these girls leave that in the past and move on, so the next one hit there can be caught.
That was fantastic camera work by John and Chris. Runner at second base. That is the go-ahead run. Isla Hapka has done damage at the plate in this tournament. And she is, according to J.R. Drummond, perhaps the most improved hitter on the team. Has once doubled already this weekend. Here's the 2-0. Sends it into the gap in right center. Could be trouble. Down for extra bases. Smith will score. It's a game-tying RBI double for Indiana.
Well, Floyd Knobs Little League loves that 8-9 hole, because they keep hitting it to right field, and it keeps coming. Isla Hapka, no different. She sends this one super deep out there. Getting all barrel on that ball. Stand-up double. Game's tied.
Good off speed. Edwards waves at it for strike 1. But Indiana's still very much threatening here in the 5th, with a runner in scoring position and nobody out. Edwards has already doubled today. A pair of doubles in the inning for Indiana. And this is sent down the line. Fair ball. Here comes Hapka. She will score. 3 straight doubles for Indiana. And the team from Floyd's Knobs takes the lead.
Well, hitting is contagious, and Kara Edwards wants to jump in on this double down the line. She goes with this drop ball, pulls it just fair inside the line. Isla Hapka legging out to score the go-ahead run.
Still nobody out. Ball pops out of the mid of Emick, and Edwards stays put. Indiana had 3 hits through the first 4 innings. They have 3 hits in the 5th.
Step out. Step out.
4 of their 6 hits today have been doubles. Kolish swings and hits at the second base sharply. O'Brien handles up to third, goes Edwards.
22, left fielder Reagan Thompson.
Now you're ready. Come on.
One just misses to Reagan Thompson. Has a chance to add some insurance here from Indiana in the 5th. Over to first base. Well played by Edge. 2 down.
Here we go.
First baseman, number 9, Taylor Freifogel.
Edwards at third as Taylor Freifogel comes to the plate. Freifogel up the middle, sliding over O'Brien. Strong throw ends the inning. Indiana with 3 doubles, plates 2, takes a 1-run lead. It is a game of inches. One down the right field line, just in fair territory. The other down the left field line, also by inches. Indiana leads. Welcome back to the Little League Softball Regionals on ESPN, presented by Dick's Sporting Goods. We began with 10 teams from around the Midwest, all roads leading to Greenville, North Carolina, where the winner out of this region will join winners out of other regions and the international pool in the Little League World Series, about 730 miles east from Indianapolis. And we have a brand new game, ladies and gentlemen. Indiana trailed going into the 5th. They plated 2 runs. They have their first lead of the game. And now Grace Fiore back on the rubber. 1-1 count to Avery Emick, middle of this Kentucky lineup. And just like yesterday,
yes,
there is a 0 next to an H.
There is a 0 next to the H, folks, if you know what I'm putting down for Miss Grace Fiore on the mound, but doing it in totally different ways. Last night we saw something very similar from Grace. She did not end up finishing the game, and there was 1 hit in the game from off the reliever Annie Vall. but she did it with strikeouts. Lots and lots of strikeouts. Today, not a single strikeout yet. So you can see Sunday versus Minnesota, 9 strikeouts, 0 so far going into the 5th. But using her defense, which shows so much character and strength as a pitcher.
Speaking of defense, Reese Carroll, first out. No, not only did she have 9 strikeouts the other day, she had 13 on Friday night.
Yeah.
In 9 innings of work.
Very impressive. And now today, she has 7 fly ball outs so far, 7. So she's just getting outs in a different way, keeping her pitch count a lot lower since the beginning of the game, and settling in nicely as she's adjusted to the strike zone in the game plan.
A 1 count to Hunter Sparks. We chatted with Grace Fiore earlier today and asked her, did you know you had a no-hitter going? And she said, you know what, I had no idea. I only realized it later when my teammates and I rewatched the game, and they told me in the 4th, hey, you didn't allow any hits. Bouncing ball to Scarlett Wren. J.R. Drummond, her manager, knew. And he kind of brushed it off because she's thrown so many in her career.
Well, he also switched pitchers with the no-hitter going, so we'll let you guys interpret that on our own. So, Grace, if you're rewatching this game, just want to tell you, you're doing a great job right now.
There's J.R. Drummond radioing in to Reese Carroll through the pitch and catcher comms. 46 pitches so far today for Grace Fiore. She has become extremely efficient as the game has gone on. Has set down 12 consecutive batters. The last base runner to reach was Hunter Sparks in the 2nd inning on an error.
Yeah, and I think if you're Davies Little League, Davies County Little League, it's a little bit deceiving of what's going on with Grace Fiore, because they had such a good 1st and 2nd inning. So they're probably not feeling the pressure of, hey, all the strikeouts that, say, Minnesota felt versus Grace Fiore yesterday.
Yeah, it's an interesting point. You and I were remarking coming into the inning, it doesn't feel like a no-hitter. There are runs on the board. Kentucky's put base runners on. But sure enough, no hits yet.
Not yet. Big 0 next to the letter H.
1-2 pitch here from Fiore. Ooh, that beans Knight, and now the first base runner aboard for Kentucky since the 2nd inning. It's the game-tying run at first base.
Come on. No problem. Body hurt. Come on.
So it looks like it just gets her, I don't know if it's the shirt or the inside elbow there. But Michaela Knight seems to be okay. She's going to get a courtesy runner.
Number 12, Hunter Sparks.
It'll be Hunter Sparks.
Right fielder, 24, Brindley Bishop.
As Brindley Bishop comes in. Bishop actually drove in a run in the 2nd inning with a fly ball to right field. Can she drive in another and tie it at 3? Ground ball to short. Bounce out of the glove of Wren. Capped with it in the stretch at first by Pryfogle. Great defense over at first base that ends Kentucky's bid in the 5th. And Indiana takes a 1-run lead into the final inning. Winner advances to Wednesday's championship. The Little League Softball Regionals on ESPN are presented by Dick's Sporting Goods. Every season starts at Dick's. Glad we're not sitting in that traffic jam. Those fans are glad they're sitting behind home plate for what's been another treat of a game in this regional. Indiana's played a couple of one-run games. That's what it is as we enter the 6th. With a spot in Wednesday's championship hanging in the balance. Strike one to Annie Vall. Michaela Knight back in the circle for Kentucky. Indiana will have its 10, 11, and 1 hitters due up in the 6th. I beg your pardon, 11, 12, and 1 due up in the 6th. J.R. Drummond told us he feels like this team, compared to last year, which was very special, we know the run they went on, is even deeper offensively. Vall high in the air to right. And O'Brien gloves for the first out.
Yeah, Coach Drummond over there on third base just loved his depth this year. When we talked to him, he said just offensively, we knew we had some holes last year. This year, we know that we can score, have competitive at-bats 1 through 11, and that's a big deal at this level.
Loser of this game will play either Minnesota or Missouri Tuesday night at 7:15 for a spot in the championship game. Double elimination until the winner-take-all championship. 2-0 to Farrah Poling. Hard hit to third, scooped by Sparks, 2 gone. Back to the top of the order now for Reese Carroll.
44, the catcher, Reese Carroll.
I thought it was interesting chatting with the coaches today. They remarked, especially J.R. Drummond, that a game like this, there's very little pressure. You're in the winner's bracket. It's not an elimination game. You've played well. There's a chance to cement your spot in the championship. But if you don't, you live to see another day.
Yeah, I thought that was a great mindset and a great way to keep the girls not making the game too big, staying loose, staying confident. No, their backs aren't up against the wall yet. They still get to play tomorrow no matter what happens. There's still a pathway to the championship.
Good play there by O'Brien. Rangy second baseman. Kentucky down to its final 3 outs. Ball, Warren, and Chelstrom will come to the dish for the team from Davis County Little League. They need 1 to send us to extras. Well, you can experience the teamwork and fun of Little League baseball or softball by visiting PlayLittleLeague.org. Enter your address, find a Little League community program near you. If you don't have one, make one. That's what the team from Kentucky did 2 years ago. And now they're down to their final 3 outs against Grace Fiore, who has yet to allow a hit in this game. Despite the 2 runs, she's gotten great defense behind her.
Yeah, she's done absolutely phenomenal all tournament long. A little less strikeouts today, but doing it in another way. Check out this defense. Grace Fiore on the miss hit, fielding her position well. Olivia Kolish fielding the sacrifices. Kai Despang with the big dive.
After the 6th, for Kentucky, left fielder 23.
Defense has been a big part of Indiana's success today.
What's that saying? Defense wins championships.
Absolutely, don't forget it.
Bottom of the 6th, Jenna Ball. First pitch swinging, sprays it foul.
Or I guess we should say, in this case, defense could get you to the championship.
Pitching may have just a little something to do with it, too.
Yes, well, when you have an ace, never lose with the ace on the bench.
Defense, get in it, come on!
Grace Fiore pitching for another day off tomorrow. She's already received 1 in the tournament after a late, long inning game Friday night that ended at 11:40 Eastern time. She got the day off Saturday, pitched Sunday. And if Indiana wins today, they will have the day off tomorrow. That's the first strikeout of the game for Grace Fiore. 1 down in the 6th.
So after racking up 10+ strikeouts in the other game, Grace Fiore comes with the changeup against Ball in the 6th to rack up her first strikeout of the day.
Haley Warren.
And you can see that green box underneath the score box there. Just draw your eyes right there to those first 2 words. First word starts with an N, second word starts with an H. Grace Fiore trying to make some magic.
Foul territory playable. Oh, what a play! Taylor Pryfogle had no idea where that ball was until the very end. 2 gone.
Or should I say the Indiana defense is trying to make some magic too, because they are doing a great job defensively, stepping up for some incredible plays. Taylor Pryfogle, lots of room over, not sure where it's at. Look what she found.
Kentucky down to their final out. Evelyn Chelstrom trying to get on base and turn the lineup over. We're 1 out away from hearing Monica Abbott say those 2 words. I've already gone there multiple times, but you refuse. That's the pitcher in you.
It's the pitcher in me. It really is.
Ball 2, just a touch inside. There's a strike.
That's a good comeback pitch. Brings it in. Grace Fiore brings it in and up just a little bit to get that called strike on the inside corner.
Come on! Be ready!
2-1. Right back to Fiore. Flip to first. The no-hitter is complete. And Indiana returns to the Central Region Championship game.
Well, Grace Fiore, you did it. No-hitter for the ace of Floyd Knobs Little League. But doing it with just 1 strikeout, Indiana's defense made some phenomenal plays behind her. 8 fly balls, 7 ground balls, and a strikeout for Grace Fiore. Just 1 walk, 6 innings pitched.
Shared a fun moment there with Presley Roberts. Competitors today, there they are, but 2 two very close friends who have played together on the same teams, just not this weekend. Grace Fiore, a special day. Didn't have all the strikeouts, showed some real maturity in the circle, using her defense behind her. This, the final out for a no-hitter in the winner's bracket semifinal.
This Floyd Knobs team is excited to be going back to the championship series and have the opportunity to defend the Central Region Championship.
So, one ticket left for the championship game. 3 teams battling for it. We'll have Minnesota and Missouri tonight at 7 Eastern on ESPN+. The winner of that will take on Kentucky tomorrow night, 7:15 on ESPN, for a spot next to Indiana in the championship game. Winner of that advances to the Little League World Series. For Monica Abbott, our entire ESPN crew, Matt Schumacher saying so long from now. We hope you'll join us for Minnesota, Missouri coming up at 7 Eastern on ESPN+.